Are you feeling uncertain about your financial future? A personal finance audit could be the key to boosting your financial security and giving you clarity on your money. In today's episode, I'll walk you through a simple yet powerful process to assess your finances, identify gaps, and create a plan for long-term stability. Whether you're preparing for retirement or just want to feel more in control of your money, this audit will help you take the next right step. Let's dive in and start building your financial confidence today. Welcome to Wealthy After 40, where I help you turn retirement uncertainty into a clear, actionable plan. If you're thinking about retirement but feel unsure whether it's even possible, I understand. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to. Hi, I'm Daylene Higgins, founder of Elevate Finances and your personal financial coach. Having retired at the age of 50 and have enjoyed over 2 years of retirement bliss, I'm here to help you create your retirement dream and make it a reality. No more wondering, no more guessing, just taking action and building a future for yourself. Join me each week as I guide you through essential topics such as budgeting, cash flow, lifestyle planning, debt and savings, insurance, Medicare, and Social Security. Together, we'll build a strategy to help you achieve the retirement you've always desired. It's time to shift from uncertain to unstoppable and make your retirement dreams a reality. Today's episode, I'm going to help you do your own personal financial audit. Now, for those of you that are really not numbers friendly, I'm going to make this as simple as possible, but also getting what you need out of it. I know not everybody really loves to dive in the numbers, and so talking about this can kind of get the glaze over. Hopefully, you're able to understand everything I share, giving you simple action steps to do this audit on your own. And really, in an audit, there's always a goal. There's always, why are we doing this? As you're listening to this episode and you're like, okay, she's going to tell me how to audit my numbers. Why do I want to do that? And it can be something very simple. It does not need to be complex. And maybe you're just like, I just need to know. And that's enough of a reason to start with. All right, first step to assessing your numbers, looking at your personal finances. And this is the same exact steps within reason. I mean, we do definitely a deep dive that I do in my VIP session, my retirement ready VIP sessions. Get out your pen and paper, be able to do this. And if at the end of it, you're like, 2 hours, let's dive deeper. Let's get into these numbers, look at it, dive deeper, create you a plan to make moving forward easier. The first step you're going to do is you're going to assess your current spending. You're going to start understanding where your money is going. I'm going to leave this simple, start you out with one section and move to another one. It's not going to be complicated. I love to track numbers. Not everybody does. And recognizing that, there's better ways to get to this information. The first step I want you to do is I want you to write a list of your bills for the month. So anybody that you automatically or manually pay every single month should go on this list. Who it is, what it's for, and the amount. Create that list, total the amount, voila, there is your bills amount. Most bills, we're in some sort of an obligation that, we can't do a lot of maneuvering through. With that being said, there is an exception to probably subscriptions and memberships. Unless you signed up for a long-term, got a deal, whatever it is, usually these bills you're committed to every single month. Recognizing that, looking at that, this is a step I have my clients do, is write out a bills list. And I remember my one client, she came back and she says, well, my bills amount is lower because I think she did away with 3. And she said, I could do it better. And I loved that she said those words. It wasn't that I just am going to get rid of them. I don't need them. She was going to find an alternative way of actually doing things. And I believe that is huge. Instead of saying cut things, I love to say, explore it, because once we cut and eliminate, we go into that restrictive mode, which leads us into scarcity, like I don't have enough. And it's really hard for us to see how things are moving. But to be innovative, like my client was, and just look at your bills. And if your list looks great to you, you're done. But if it's like, I forgot I had that one. I've heard that. Or, instead of doing that, I think there's a better option. Huge. Love it. If you have those, go ahead and do those. All right. The second area to assess your spending, this is going to be a number that's not quite as big, but it is going to be a little more difficult to get to if you have not been tracking. But I'm going to make it very simple for you. This section is groceries, fuel, eating out, entertainment, convenience stops. I've named it convenience stops. This is if you stop at the convenience store, you stop at the Swig for a drink, you stop at Starbucks, you stop for breakfast on the way to work, whatever that is, right? Those are kind of convenience stops. Your kids get out of dance, all of those things. Those are the items you're looking for. Again, groceries, fuel, eating out, entertainment, convenience stops. These are things that you spend money on fairly regularly. Some really are needed and others maybe not so much, but that's not what we're talking about today. To start with groceries, how often do you shop? Once a week, twice a month? Go back and look at your, it's easy with our digital to look and just go, okay, how many times have I gone to the grocery store? What does a big shopping trip usually cost? Okay, I go 4 times a month or I go 2 times a month. Kind of get your average. That'll align that out. With your fuel, how often are you filling up? I know some people are like, I'm every 4 days. And usually people do know this. It's every 4 days or it's every 2 weeks or it's whatever it is. And now fuel goes up and down. I understand that. But what is the current cost of filling up your tank? It's $50 and you do it twice a month. There's $100 in fuel. Add that to your grocery amount. And then you can go from there. These others are a little bit smaller, kind of roughly estimate those. Add those all together, and this with your, this is your spending amount. This kind of gives you that second bucket. If you've heard me talk about the buckets, we talk about bills, spending, and savings. Yes, that's where we're headed next is savings. What I want you to do, I'm going to walk you through an exercise I don't believe I've done on here. I know I have talked about it briefly, but savings is money that is not being spent in the month. Now, there's a little caveat to, being able to budget for irregular expenses, things like that, but we're not getting into that today. Your savings is going to be made from your retirement account, health savings account, your FSA, if you still have one of those and can participate. Your immediate savings, you have a high yield savings or you just have a regular savings with your bank or credit union, or maybe you have a special Christmas club account. All of those things are savings. I want you to list the amount that you are contributing to all of those things for the month. Okay, we just want a month total. Then what I want you to do is I want you to take your gross pay for the month, the amount you had for savings divided by your gross pay, so your gross income, especially if your retirement accounts are pre-tax. That's why we're using this number. And you're going to divide. Quick math lesson here, just as a reminder, you're going to divide, you're going to get a decimal. Move that decimal to the right 2 spaces, okay? I did this the other day, but I had like 5 zeros, threw me for a loop. So just wanted to remind you, move that over. You're going to have either 1 or 2 digits on the left side of the decimal. That's the only ones we care about. Whether you have an 8, a 10, a 12, whatever that number is, I want you to write it down. This is your starting point of savings. This is called your savings rate. This you can control, you can fluctuate, you can make things happen within this number, within all of these savings. These savings are crucial for now and for later. I was working with a client the other day and I said, well, what does 80-year-old you want? Right? We've got to think about that 80-year-old you. However, there's a balance, and I get that. I had a call, it's been probably almost a year ago, and the individual, she was saving over 50% of her income. Circumstances are different for everyone. I don't want you to take that number into account, but she was worried. So regardless of this number, you might feel worried, you might not feel worried, and that's okay. I just want you to create that starting number. But really, this number is what's going to support your retirement. This is what's going to support your stability right now. Really, that number is 80-year-old you and current you. So be mindful of that. I would love for you to go listen to episode 30, where I talk about savings as the number one habit. It goes into all the reasons why and how it can filter out to different areas. And based on that, I am creating a savings course, hopefully to come out before the end of summer, where I can support individuals in just this area. Because I have such a belief in learning to save and supporting that and creating healthy habits of saving. Look for that. I know it's a ways off, but if you have been a listener for a while, stick around. We'll be able to do that. But also the other thing is, and it's going to kind of lead us into the next area of our financial audit, episode 5, where I talk about, do you pay off debt or save? I just had a discussion with my client. She's like, I want to get rid of this debt, but do I really need to save? And we talk through it. And I share my thoughts on episode 5. And, really there is a balance, especially as you're moving closer to retirement. Getting rid of that debt kind of allows you to have more freedom in retirement, but we need to know how to provide for the things that debt got for us. I hope that makes sense. So listen to that, to help you understand that there is a balance. I talk about all that in there. And that's the next area for our audit is debt. If you're somebody who has debt, you're going to want to listen. This can be a whole big thing, but I'm not going to get into that. What I want you to do is make a list of your debt. This is most important, and it's very simple. You know who you owe, and you know what that is, but I want you to find out who it is. So credit card, mortgage, car loan, HELOC, like all of those things are going to go on this list. What it was for, what the balance is, what's your monthly payment minimum. I want you to go with the minimum right now. And then what is the interest rate? Listing that out, totaling those minimum monthlies, kind of gives you a view of another spending area. Right now, you might have listed it up in bills. That's fine. But this breaks it out and understands that. What is creating your debt? If you answered the what is this for, and you're like, I don't remember, Houston, we have a problem type of things, I want you to go to listen to episode 102. There are 3 camps for usually, okay, I'm simplifying it. Yes, I know. 3 camps for debt generation. Go listen to that, determine where you are. That also gives you action steps and, to maneuver your way out of there. All right, the last area that we need to audit is one that's not necessarily numbers. It's also an area that most people don't have. This is the biggest reason that you have to care about all the things we just talked about. What are your financial goals? Now, I know most people are like, I just need to get out of debt or I want to increase my savings. Those are great things to strive for, but what is your goal? What is your thing that you want to reach? How are you preparing for 80-year-old you? What does that look like? A really cushy retirement? Or, do you not care about retirement? Or are you still in the need of, I want to buy a house? Really think through, what is your long-term financial goals? What do you want to have accomplished in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? So right there, I did short, mid, and long term. You don't have to have one for all 3. In fact, just one is really good. And if you remember the first of this episode where I shared, I had my two. I had my one that was affecting my current life. Because remember, we talked about don't forget current you, but also don't forget 80-year-old you. And what is that financial goal? Saving for retirement can come in so many different ways. Really getting into learning about what that can look like. My one client was looking for rental income. Other clients are just looking for, investing in the 401s and those things like that. If you're somebody who's passionate about wanting to own some investment property and have that coming in and being able to manage that, that would be a long-term goal. Really sit with yourself and ask yourself the following question. What do I want my money to create for me? That's all this goal is. I think goals become very difficult for myself too. We're like, well, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to want? And so if you just say, what do I want my money to do for me? And start writing. Don't even think about if this is a goal, if this is short, if this is long. Just start writing. What do I want my money to do for me? And if you write pay off debt, I want you to go further than that. That's not a goal. That's something we need to get out of the way to reach our goal. Like I said, it's a great thing to shoot for. And yes, we want to do that, but what is your goal? What do you aspire? What do you wish if everything was at your fingertips? You had the money within reason, because I want you to be real about this, but your debt is gone. Your worries about different things are gone. What would you want your money to do for you? And I believe if you are able to answer that question, get yourself excited about it, taking the steps to get there are so simple. All right. I know we've covered a lot, and if you're like, man, I still don't know, this won't make sense to me. Remember, in 2 hours, I can walk you through this and more, lay out exactly what you need to do moving forward. We'll dive into where you are right now. We'll answer all of these things we did today and really just explore who you are with money. If you need help with creating those goals or understanding who you are with money, definitely 2 hours. Everybody's got 2 hours to spare. So go click down in the show notes. You can either jump on a free call with me to ask some questions, or you can immediately purchase the Retirement Ready VIP session. I look forward to supporting you. And until next week. Thanks for listening. Each week, my goal is to help you get one step closer to retirement so you can be excited for that big day instead of stressed and just hoping it will work out. If today's episode got you thinking about your retirement planning and wondering if you're on the right track, let's connect. Schedule a free Q&A call to discuss your retirement needs and how I can support you in creating a retirement that's possible. Or if you know you're ready, schedule your Retirement Ready VIP session to dive deeper into your retirement goals and design the life you want. Complete with a personalized roadmap, you'll be on your way to a dream retirement. Don't wait to take action. You deserve the retirement you dream about. Be sure to take that first step today. And if not, be sure to tune in next week for the episode to learn more and move yourself to a retirement that's possible.